Hi, today's story is The Girl Who Wouldn't Brush Her Hair. Look how messy that hair is. Pretty messy. It is by Kate Bernheimer and Jake Parker. The Girl Who Wouldn't Brush Her Hair. For Zia, my hero and protector of creatures both great and small, and for Lucy, whose locks would make a cozy mouse house. There once was a girl who wouldn't brush her hair. Her hair was wonderful, bare brown and wavy. The girl also had a doll that looked just like her, except the doll had no hair and was only a baby. The doll's name was Baby. She does have long, beautiful hair, doesn't she? After the girl's bath every evening, she would pile a turban upon her head and pretend as she was a queen. At bedtime, she would unravel the turban and let her hair fall down in a tangled heap. No brushing. It's just my way, she explained to the grown-ups, and then she'd lie down beside Baby and begin to dream. Yes, it's just her way to not brush her hair. That's what she says, anyway. This went on for a great many evenings. The hair washing, the turban, the not brushing, the dreams. It was wonderful, really, until one night the girl unwound the turban, and what was that? Oh dear, a little mouse had taken up residence in a particularly tangled place in her hair. That means the little mouse made a home in her hair. Now we all know that in books people scream when they see a mouse and jump on a chair. But the girl was in bed, there was no chair nearby, and besides, she'd read enough fairy tales to remember that mice always turn out to be your helpers. So she simply said, hello up there, mouse, and decided to let it be. See the mouse? It's just my way, she said to the grown-ups when they came to kiss her goodnight and saw the mouse making a cozy bed on top of her head. The next morning, the girl awoke to find that another mouse had moved in, a bigger one carrying a suitcase full of fairy tale books. And there by the foot of the bed, a couple of tiny mice with rucksacks were gazing longingly in her hair's very direction. Rucksack, that's another name for like a backpack. See the mice at the foot of the bed? Yeah, they want to get on her head too. That day, the girl, the doll, and all the mice went to school. It wasn't long before word got around the mouse world that there was a very nice home atop a girl's head, and more mice joined them. Wow, check out that picture. That's a lot of mice. You'd think it might itch or be bothersome in some way. I don't know. The school children marveled at this new development. They too stopped brushing their hair in hope of starting their own little mouse menageries. How wonderful, they thought, like having your own petting zoo on your head. But the girl's mother refused to pack the mice lunch or make them supper, so the girl had no choice but to share her lunch with them. Soon the girl who wouldn't brush her hair found herself very hungry. The girl also began to feel worried. Yes, she loved her companions. After all, they told funny knock-knock jokes, and they were very sweet to Baby. But they did not like the bath. We can't swim, they chorused, clinging to knotted strands. Don't do it, we'll drown. That's silly, the girl said. All mice can swim. We learned that in our unit at school on rodents. We'll overlook your name calling, the mouse said. The Mouse King announced. He was the biggest one who had arrived early on with the fairy tale books in the suitcase. But there will be no baths. It's just our way. They had learned to say it's just our way from listening to the girl say that to her parents. Much to the mice's relief, the girl agreed, for though she was becoming quite dirty, she had grown fond of their company. They had set up such a marvelous home for themselves, a palace really atop her head. It had secret passageways and a cheese cellar and a tiny circular moat. Knock, knock, says this mouse. Who's there, says that mouse. But the not bathing turned out to be less pleasing than the not brushing had been. The girl was starting to, how shall we put this? She's starting to smell. Yuck. And so, of course, no one wanted to be near her. Even Baby tried to keep her distance. Now it was as if the mice were in charge of the girl rather than the other way around. A lot of mice. The girl began to sleep less well. She was afraid, for one thing, of smooshing the mice if she rolled over, and for another, the mice were nocturnal, as it turned out. You guys know what nocturnal means? It means that you're awake at night and you sleep during the day. They chattered all night, keeping up Baby, telling her complicated knock-knock jokes into the wee hours until the sun rose and the girl, bleary-eyed and tired, got out of bed. Each morning, after carefully brushing her teeth and dressing, it was hard to pull a sweater over a head full of protesting mice. She tidied up her mouse palace head as best as she could, and dragged herself, Baby, and all of the mice to school. I'm going to show you this picture separately because it's got a lot going on in that picture. Look at all those mice. Look, they're playing a game like volleyball on top of their head. They have a flag. Then one terrible day, teacher said, "I'm so sorry, but you can no longer bring Baby. Each child may have only one friend for nap time, and it appears that by now you have 100 mice in your hair. The rules are quite broken enough." Look at that. Wow, lots of mice. The girl slumped her shoulders and hung her heavy head as Baby and all of the mice stared at her in silence. Oh, poor mice! Dear hairless Baby had been the girl's best friend since she had been hairless and a baby. The girl needed Baby with her at school. That was that. It's just my way, she wept. And so that very night, the girl reluctantly bid the mice farewell. She had a calm talk with them first, explaining about the troubles with the not washing, the not taking Baby to school, and the general, well, insomnia, really. Insomnia is when you can't sleep at night. And like all good mice, they understood. Carefully, they packed their things and dismantled the palace. Single file, they took their leave, singing a mournful song. "Oh, girl who would not brush her hair, thank you for letting us live here. We're on our way, our work is done, we'll find a new head to live upon." The mice were more clever with knock-knock jokes than with songs, as it turned out, and, truth be told, they weren't very good at knock-knock jokes, and they weren't very good at singing. When the mice had all gone, the girl took a long, soapy bath with Baby perched on the edge of the tub. After that, she dressed herself and the doll in matching nightgowns with pictures of happy mice printed upon them. Sitting up in bed, she contentedly ran a brush through her shining mane. Then she kissed Baby, leaned back, closed her eyes, and began to dream. Look at this picture. Look at her hair. It's gorgeous. It definitely looks different than before, doesn't it? All brushed out like that. In the morning, the other school children gathered around the girl. They marveled at her braids and the ingenious way she had tied a ribbon around Baby's hairless head. "It's just my way," the girl smiled. Meanwhile, under the monkey bars, another girl who lived next door to the girl who wouldn't brush her hair was deep in argument with a couple of mice dangling from the ends of her wild pigtails. Silly mice, that's just their way. There's a lot going on in that picture. You can see the girl's braids, the bow on Baby's head, all the kids, and then in the background you can see that girl with the long, messy pigtails with two mice hanging from the ends. Now that was a silly, silly story. Hope you guys liked it. Bye.